Well, good morning. We're trying to start on time for the Power Breakfast, which we've done on time for the last couple of years. Good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome everybody to the Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation's third annual Power Breakfast. And for those of you who don't know me, and there are a few in the room, my name is Eddie Cook, and I've been fortunate enough to be the chairman for this year's Power Breakfast Committee. And before introducing our keynote speakers, who are Richard Kluska of IP Strategies and Tim Grieve of Merivitz Possession, I'd like to share with you one of the reasons why the Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation is so important to me. I guess I have to go back to early moments in time, like many of us can, the influences we had in our lives. I remember always looking forward to the Jewish holidays. After all, my annual new pair of shoes awaited me, and what a better time to break them in. Wearing my new shoes, I recall playing outside a synagogue, the sounds of laughter taking place amongst all of the children. And when it was time to return to the sanctuary, I recall searching through a sea of black suits and seeking out my father, who is here today. I remember holding his prayer book in one hand and ready to pull me close to him with his other hand, and always making me feel that along his side, my little world was warm, safe, and secure. But we're going to have to fast forward because we don't have much time. It's now 50 years later. In fact, it was just this past Saturday. I went to the synagogue at Hillel Lodge, and at my side, sitting in his wheelchair, was my father, Moses. I have to tell you, he did not stop smiling for a few hours. And we spent together, and although I soaked in every precious moment, I could not stop thinking of how life had changed. Now it was me who was holding his hand. Now it was me who was giving him that feeling of warmth, safety, and security. Oh, and now it was me who was buying him his new shoes. I have to say, if it were not for people like you who are in this room and many other people in our community who have started foundations, people like you who, through your selfless actions, encouraged and mentored us to become good community citizens. And then countless people like my father would not be able to enjoy an incredible facility such as Hillel Lodge and the wonderful care that he receives. I want to thank you for holding out your hand and your heart to our community and the greater community at large. You are helping those to be warm, safe, and secure. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge our sponsor for today's event, HSBC Canada, led by Michelle Toledano. And I would like to extend our thanks on behalf of the Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation to HSBC for their continued support. And I ask the team from HSBC to stand for a moment and show yourself to the audience. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, folks, now that you've had to listen to me, I'd like you to take a few moments and enjoy your breakfast, serve yourself, and we'll be starting the program shortly. Thank you. Just to continue along with our program, we have a special video done for you. That is our first time presenting a video on behalf of the foundation. And we'd like to thank Algonquin College and our official marketing committee, who we'll speak about later, for what we believe are their wonderful artistic and professional input. And I hope that you see that this video is going to showcase several members of our community and their personal reasons for giving to our foundation and getting involved with the community. And if I could just name them before the video begins, we'd like to thank Elizabeth Greenberg, Edie Landau, Richard Roth, Roger Greenberg, and Bernie Schinder for participating in this video. And if all goes well, the video will begin now. Something tells me that if everybody in the room had a chance to stand up and express something about how they like to give to the community, to individuals, to certain causes, everyone here would have something to say and something to express about how meaningful it is to you. Excuse me. I noticed that during the video, nobody was really eating, so the video was effective, and we really, again, want to thank everybody. Please give them a round of applause for the hard work that they did. Our next speaker started her position with us in March 2013. She's literally the new kid on the block. She brings new blood, new energy, new ideas, and a wealth of experience to her position. She's been working diligently to engage our community and really implement exciting initiatives. Her energy is tireless, and I have personally found that she answers emails faster than anybody I know. It's now my pleasure to invite Andrea Friedman, our CEO and president of both the Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation and the Jewish Federation of Ottawa, to say a few words. Andrea?
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Eddie. Let me just really begin by congratulating the incredible leadership team that we had working on this morning's power breakfast. It starts with Eddie, obviously, who did an incomparable job. Mitchell, Lynn, our amazing staff team, really pulled together a terrific event. So I really want to thank them and acknowledge all the hard work that they put into this morning. Our goal at the Foundation, in partnership with the Jewish Federation of Ottawa, is to match real and pressing needs in the community with the passion and the philanthropic aspirations of donors to help them achieve their Jewish mission and vision for our community. We aim to work with any philanthropist who has a desire to strengthen Ottawa's Jewish community and contribute to the welfare of Israel and world Jewry. Through careful planning and consultation with financial experts, hopefully this morning piques your interest a little bit, donors of all means. Really, there's a bit of a misunderstanding in terms of you have to have really significant funds in order to start becoming a philanthropist. That's simply not true. It's really a philanthropist of any means who can take advantage of significant tax havens and really do good on behalf of the community. And any member of our team would be pleased to meet with you on a confidential basis and discuss your personal philanthropic goals. That's what we're here for. I want to thank you all very much. I look forward to working with each of you as we strive to build a strong, welcoming, and inclusive Jewish community, vibrant today and secure for tomorrow. So thank you.
First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the representatives of our emerging generation division, the two Samanthas, Samantha Bank and Samantha Cook. We have an emerging gen table here, and I have to say, I know that not only myself, but others are thrilled to see such positive representation as you did even just in the video with Elizabeth Greenberg, that, you know, it's all part of giving, doesn't have an age limit. Doesn't have an age limit at the bottom, it doesn't have an age limit at the top. These people are our future's fundraisers, not only emotionally, but also financially down the road in our world for us to have that community that we all dream about. And I'd like to, on behalf of the Community Foundation, I'd like to thank both of you for the work you've done with Emerging Generation and the highlights that I read about and that I see. What goes on in Emerging Generation, I feel that there's a bridge now, and a very strong bridge that you're building between, I guess, what we would term as a younger generation and older generation. And personally, I'd like to be invited to some of those parties, because I don't know why you consider me older generation, but I welcome an invite anytime. I'd like to have Mitchell come up to me, Mitchell Lightman, who's our chair this year of the fundraising committee. He became chair a few short months ago, but I just want to digress for a moment. I remember Kenny Ages giving me Mitchell's name to give him a call and see if he would like to join the fundraising committee. And I sort of walked away from that meeting, Mitchell, going, I really don't know if I closed the sale or not. He sort of kept me dangling, but I started to see with time the interest and the emotional support that you were giving me and the other members of the committee. So I know that during my share of fundraising, I know that your strength kept me going and kept me inspired. So I just want to thank you for that. So he's already made a huge impact, and the committee is grateful for his dedication and leadership. And as past chair of the fundraising committee, I'm always happy to pass the torch to someone that I have such confidence in. On behalf of Mitchell and myself, please allow me to introduce our keynote speakers today, Richard Kluska and Tim Grieve. Richard Kluska is the founder of the IEP Strategies, an independent, privately owned family office group within Canaccord Genuity Wealth Management based here in Ottawa. And Richard has over 30 years in successfully advising high net worth families, entrepreneurs, as well as corporate entities. And many of you are going to remember him from our first Power Breakfast event. He has a solid reputation for providing sound advice. His clients' complex estate issues, including the most sophisticated expressions of property holdings and transmissions, such as wills, trusts, and foundations, and he regularly assists in the planning and implementation of the passing of wealth to next generations. Very complex area. Our second keynote speaker, Tim Grieve. Tim is a partner in the law firm of Merivitz Possession, practicing in trusts and estates, corporate, commercial, and not-for-profit areas. And Tim is originally from Calgary. He's lived in Ottawa since 1985. He's an extremely active member of his local community, and he lends his time and expertise to charitable organizations, including the Children's Aid Foundation and Youth Services Bureau. Clearly, there's a lot that we can learn from these men this morning, no matter what age, no matter what stead you are in life. they will be able to help you out, and they will represent what many professionals can do to help you out with your questions. So without further ado, please help me give the warmest of welcomes to our keynote speakers for this year's Power Breakfast.
Just before I begin, I skipped a promise. I just wanted to thank Eddie for those kind words, and very big shoes to fill. I hope I can do a little justice, maybe a little newspaper in shoes to fill. And before we get into the actual session discussion, I'd like to ask Richard to begin by giving us a short synopsis of the presentation that he gave at our inaugural Power Breakfast a couple of years ago.
Thank you. Oh, now, technology, how do you turn this on? On the bottom. On the bottom. Everybody hear me? No. Does this turn on? I apologize. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for having me back here 2 years ago. So, Eddie asked me to come and do a subsequent presentation, or as a follow-up to our presentation 2 years ago about estate planning and how philanthropy can be effectively used as an estate planning tool. So, when we were debating what would be the best effect, we coined the discussion today, philanthropy from strategy to execution. And in doing so, I pulled my friend Tim Grieve here to come and join us to have a panel discussion to share our views on the execution, the tools that are actually quite simplified, the tools that can be used to assist in the philanthropy and assist in estate planning, and also share with you a couple of motivating stories that would help you get there. So in doing so, again, I'm having a technical challenge here. Oh, here we go. So the benefits of philanthropy. What we were trying to sit here and say is, if you recall, this slide is where we received most of our response. And this slide clearly indicates that, as outlined, we have